Yo, we got another video, another NBA playoff video. Um, this is the preview for the Bucks and Pacers. The last video I did Knicks and Pistons. Go check that out if you missed it. Um, Obviously, last day of the NBA season hasn't started, but this playoff matchup has already been confirmed. Just because, as you can see in the NBA standings, no one can really move. Even if the Pacers win, the Knicks have the tiebreaker. Um, so we got Bucks Pacers again. Obviously, they've had a lot of beef the past two seasons. They don't like each other. They had the Giannis game ball situation, the playing tournament, or no, in season tournament, not playing tournament. Dame was telling Tyrese Halliburton to be humble and stuff like that. Um, Something else happened. Oh yeah, I already said that. I forgot. I was about to say they played in the playoffs last year again, but obviously last year Giannis didn't play at all that series, so I believe the Pacers won in 5 games. It could have been 6 games. I don't really remember, but this should be a great series if Dame actually plays. Obviously, Dame's injury is a big part of this series, which I actually should have put that up before I started the video, which is my bad. Um, Dame Dame has not been confirmed to play. Um, I don't know why it's showing me his past injury, bro. Dame, hold on, let me just look up his injury report. It's still showing. Okay, it's still showing past stuff. We don't know. Doc Rivers and then I think there was this a reporter said that Dame could return for the first round, but you know how like first round injuries go. Sometimes they just like sees like this player's gonna come back and they never come back. That's what they did with Giannis last year. They said Giannis may come back for the Pacers series. He never came back. The Bucks ended up losing the series. The year before, same thing happened with Kawhi. They kept teasing Kawhi was gonna come back. He never came back. So I'm not gonna expect Dame for the series. And if no Dame is gonna play in the series, looking at this Bucks starting lineup, uh, I don't know if this is actually gonna be a starting lineup because I don't know if Ryan Hollins or Kevin Porter Jr. is gonna start, considering Kevin Porter Jr. has been playing great. But Ryan Hollins, Torian Prince, Kyle Kuzma, Giannis, Brook Lopez. That's not a team that I expect to beat the Pacers because, like, even though people, I feel like people don't give the Pacers their respect. Um, Even though they did face injured teams, the Pacers did make the conference finals last year. You can't be a bad NBA team that makes the conference finals, right? Excuse me. They still had stuff going on for them that led them to the conference finals, right? But one big part of the Bucks, they have no guard play outside of Dame. You seen that last season, and even though Kevin Porter Jr. is playing great, I don't know if Kevin Porter Jr. has ever played a playoff game. So I don't know how he's gonna play in the playoffs. I feel like he's just gonna chuck in the playoffs. I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, Bobby Portis just came back. I don't really know how he's been playing. Honestly, I haven't been paying that much attention. But I know Kyle Kuzma has not been playing great. He's still playing like he's playing on the Wizards, basically just without the shot attempts. He's decent on defense. He's in, very inconsistent at shot creation. Sometimes he can look like he's a decent shot creator. Sometimes it still looks like he's on the Wizards or even like early moments on the Lakers. Like I don't know, Cal Kuzma is just an inconsistent player. You definitely can't trust him to guard someone like Tyrese Halliburton or something like that. Um, and that's my first point. Like they don't really have anyone to guard Tyrese Halliburton because Kyle Kuzma is probably too slow. Same thing with Torrey Prince, honestly. Because even though Torrey Prince is playing shooting guard, he's really like a small. Yeah, he's really like a small forward, and even then, I don't even know he should be playing small forward. Torrey Prince really doesn't fit any position just because at this point in his career he's kind of slow, even though he's decent at defense. Tyrese Halliburton's gonna speed past him every time, then gonna create a double team. Someone's gonna be open, and that's Pacers basketball. That's their bread and butter. Um, Obviously, you do have Giannis and Brook Lopez in the paint, but Brook Lopez getting up there in the age. Even though he did have a decent season, I don't know if Brook Lopez is going to be able to do all that. And I feel like the Pacers do have a decent 2 players that could create a wall for Giannis, or 3 players. Aaron Neesmith, Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner. That's a huge wall for Giannis. I don't know if Giannis is going to have a great series. especially considering that they're probably going to trap Giannis every time he goes to the paint because there's no Dame. So I really can't figure out a way that they win this series without Dame. If Dame was playing, it's a whole different series. But real quick, let me look at the Pacers starting lineup. Obviously, they got the same starting lineup as last year. They put that Maffrin on the bench just because he missed like almost all of last season. I think he played like 20 games or so. Even though Benedict Maffrin literally might be the fourth best player on the team, it's close. Andrew Nimhart and Aaron Neesmith, Benedict Maffrin on like the same level, but their starting lineup is still pretty good. Even though Andrew Nimhart, I think it was a rookie last season, which is crazy. He's definitely in the second and third year. Even though Andrew Nimhart had a down season for last year, and the expectations were kind of up just because in the conference finals when Tyrese Halliburton got hurt, Andrew Nimhart played great. He averaged like 25 points per game in those conference finals. Um, I don't think I don't like just look at their starting lineup compared to the Bucks. They have a complete starting lineup. They don't really have any holes. The only problem they may have with the starting lineup is Pascal Siakam just not playing consistent offensively at all this season. He would have stretches where he's averaging 20, 22 points per game. He would have stretches where he's also averaging like 15 to 17 points per game. And this is like a stretch, Shane. This is not like a one game out of 24, one game out of 15. One game, like, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. They arguably, I would say they have a better bench than the Bucks, even though they don't really have a backup center, which I'm not really concerned with because not like Bobby Portis is gonna dominate Obi Toppin, Jerice Walker, whoever's playing. Um, I think the Pacers have a more complete team, more healthy team. I think that's gonna lead them to being the Bucks. Now, I'm going to speak of the hypothetical of Dame playing, even though I don't think he will. But I'm gonna speak of the hypothetical, right? Because that does change a lot of things in the series, right? Because if Dame is playing, the new starting lineup for the Bucks is just Dame starting at PG. Ryan Hollins probably doesn't play at all because they're probably gonna prefer Kevin Porter Jr. to be. The only reason I think Kevin Porter Jr. is coming off the bench is just to be a six man, honestly. But Dame playing, Torrey Prince still probably at shooting guard. Gary Trent probably gets more minutes. I don't know. I don't know the like starting lineup and the rotations and all that. But basically saying starting lineup with Dame. And offensively, that takes a lot off Giannis, right? Because like I said, they're just gonna create a wall every time Giannis goes to the paint without Dame. You can't really create that wall when you have Dame, Torian Prince on the court because those are two elite shooters. If you look at his stats all season, Dame played way better than last season. Dame is not washed. Dame has actually had great stats. If you compare Dame stats to Steph Curry stats, you can barely tell the difference. Um, and Torian Prince, even though Torian Prince had a good season on the Lakers last year, it kind of got overshadowed because he was probably playing too many minutes. This season he continued that. He's shooting well and creating that wall for Dame and Torian Prince to gonna create open shots. And I don't think the Pacers. I don't know if the Pacers would. Wait, hold up. What am I trying to say? Basically, if you create a wall for Giannis, Dame and Torian Prince are gonna get open shots. And I don't know if they have a recipe to fix that unless they go with a zone, which I don't remember using the Pacers using much zone last postseason. I could be completely wrong by saying that. Now again, Kyle Kuzma, that's a big X factor. I feel like Kyle Kuzma might be the X factor for the Bucks because Kyle Kuzma flips on the switch and he's averaging. I'm not even gonna say any crazy expectation. I'm just gonna say like 15 to 16 points per game on good efficiency, not even great efficiency, good efficiency. Kyle Kuzma can be the difference changer in this series, and that's with or without that. But I feel like in order for the Bucks to win, they have to have Dame, and Kyle Kuzma has to be efficient. That's the only two things that the Bucks need to win. Because if Dame is playing, they have the best two players in the series, and I feel like that would be enough. Because again, Tyrese Halliburton, even though he had a decent season, definitely down for last year, especially if you look at the efficiency. Pascal Siakam's been inconsistent. If those two aren't scoring, they're gonna have to rely on just threes. And I feel like the Bucks can expose that. And even though their bench is good, their bench doesn't really have size. So if you manage to do your rotations right and stuff like that, and get the matchups you want through pick and roll and stuff like that, you can get Jarius Walker, you can get Obi Toppin, Giannis, and Giannis can easily score on them. So I feel like if the Bucks, again, if the Bucks have got Dame, they got Kyle Kuzma doing this thing, even Brook Lopez to a certain extent, because we seen Brook Lopez play bad in playoffs. Even Brook Lopez playing good, the Bucks can win. But that's a lot of ifs for the Bucks. So me personally, I'm probably going to go. Okay, I'm gonna do two predictions. If Dame is playing, I'm still gonna go Pacers in seven. If Dame is not playing, I may go Pacers in five. I'm gonna just say six, just because Giannis is Giannis. I don't think he's gonna let that be a 5 game series. This is not like a Miami Heat situation. It's not like they got like a Jimmy Butler who just comes out of nowhere and plays good every season. Because Tyrese Halliburton is definitely not that. But I feel like the Pacers would probably still win in six if Dame wasn't playing. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments though. And if you don't watch basketball, please don't comment on the series because like obviously the people who don't watch basketball just could be like, oh, the Bucks won the championship. They got Giannis. Tyrese Halliburton's overrated. Like I don't want to see that in the comments because obviously you don't watch basketball. But the Pacers are a very good team. They got a lot of depth. I think the Pacers are gonna win pretty much no matter what. I'll give them like a 75% chance of winning. But I mean the video right there. Let me know what y'all think.